Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new WHO Bulletin. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I'm wearing headphones that aren't actually connected to anything. It's all a prop. This is theatre. You're in a lie. You're living in a dream world. Welcome everyone to the WHO Bulletin this week. I am fucking knackered. I've ran home, got all the thumbnails and artwork made for this week's streams. But yes, a warm welcome before I get into any waffling to Noir, Mr. Scarlord, Dr. Masterforce Dalek, Doctor Who Mania, Carl. Welcome everyone, one and all, to the WHO Bulletin this week. Yeah, this is a thing. This is what we're doing now. What am I waffling on about? This is very much like a rambling sort of thing. Today we've got a very exciting episode of the WHO Bulletin because we have this. Spoiler alert, I have already opened it because I could not physically fucking resist. But we are here, we've got it, and we're going to unbox it, and we're going to talk about it, and that's the important thing. Because I can give you my very, very highly valued opinions on this £40 kids toy. But first, before we get into that, let's do a hoodle. We haven't done a hoodle in a week, so let's do it. For those who aren't aware, Hoodle is a game online in the Doctor Who community where you can basically, you just get given pictures of Doctor Who episodes and you have to guess which one it is. So we leave it for a week. I don't look at any of them, and then I do 10 at once. 10 at once? That's not how many days we're in a week, George. 7 at once. So enjoy this. Basically, when was the last stream? Last stream was Tuesday 24th, so the last one we did was on the 24th, so 25th is our first one today. Let's have a look at a hoodle, ladies and gents. Okay, so this one is already interesting. I have a feeling this is potentially a... Well, it's definitely post-Whittaker. Trying to narrow it down. Looks like a sort of dome planet. I'm thinking maybe Orphan 55? Oh, no, you know what it is? I'm a fucking idiot. It's Dot and Bubble, isn't it? That's a good one. I should have got that from the giant see-through bubble, right? Visuals. Welcome, man. How you doing? How long till George mentions the podcast? Oh, it's not going to be long this week, don't you worry, because last week's episode was indeed... hello, Hamza. You alright? Last week's episode was of the podcast was actually Doctor Who related, so I can talk about it this week. Oh, dear. Don't know what the fuck that is. I'm not going to make any jokes. Doctor Who's a family show. What the actual fuck is even that? What even is that? Connie, welcome to the stream. Oh man, I need to blow my nose already. Fucking idiot. I've wasted my time here. What am I doing? Okay, I have no fucking idea. I'm going to say Gridlock's my go-to. The fuck is that? What the actual fuck is that, though? What is that? You can only see clue 5 when you fail. Exactly. Aliens in London? Aliens of London. Yeah, I get it. Well, Dalek. It's fucking Dalek. It's part of the museum. Oh, motherfucker. You're an idiot. Come on. You're better than that. We're better than this. Yeah, I should have got it. I don't know how I was supposed to get... That's a really good fucking starter, because I would not have got it from that. 27. Who the frig is this? Eh? Who the fuck is that guy? Oh, also, I'm fucking tiny. That's good. Thanks, no one, for pointing that out. Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I just realised that I'm fucking tiny. That's good. We're fixed now. Just going to fix it on all the other tabs. That's good. I love my camera. I love how good it is and professional it is. Yeah, I'm thinking Thin Ice is probably a good one, actually. Yeah, Thin Ice. Yes, yeah. I shouldn't have looked at the chat for that one. I feel like that's kind of cheating, but that's a good one. Period costumes. Makes sense. Okay, we got a few more. 28. Okay. I'm thinking Knock Knock. I think it's when they're moving in. Yeah, look at that. Bosh. Fucking enormous. Fantastic. 29. What the actual fuck is this? It's going to be something like the Shakespeare Code. I just genuinely don't know. Oh. Okay. Okay. That was a very strange guess. Little bit annoying. Don't really like that episode very much, but you know, apparently I can spot it out in a crowd. This one is trying to catch you off guard. I think it's Face the Raven. No, it's not. It's Magician's Apprentice. Yeah, because it's in the bit where Colony South is sort of pissing about in these things. Plane, unit, woman, Daleks. Yeah, checks out. Ascension of the Cybermen. That's the one. Yeah, come on. I know Brendan when I see him. Yeah, it's a pretty good one though. I kind of want to rewatch some of Whittaker's era because I look at it and I'm thinking, God, this looks fucking gorgeous. Like the old whenever they do old English towns in the Whittaker era, it always looks really nice. I like big landscape shots of actual practical buildings and stuff. It always looks great. You can tell it's not on a green screen. This shit though, when they start doing color grading and light flares, that really fucks me off. But I like all this stuff. This all looks really nice. These all look really great. But this is where it starts to get a bit ugly. But it is what it is. That is Hoodle for the week, ladies and gents. So, we have news. No, we don't. We have unboxing. That's it. There we go. So, we have a Sonic to unbox. The character options, the wonderful people at Character Options, have indeed finally worked out how to release merchandise for the new era in the form of the 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. Now, we talked about this last week. 2 have been released, or available to order. 1 has come out. This came out incredibly quickly, and I have to say I'm very, very surprised. This is the Deluxe Edition, as it says there. The box is pretty much the same. Hi, Caroline. This is the same box as the standard edition Sonic, right? It's exactly the same box. Nothing is different about it. It is exactly the same write-up, exactly the same everything. The Sonic is even exactly the same. The only difference is it's fucking shiny, as far as I'm aware. Now, I said, because I'm a fucking idiot, I decided to buy both of them, the Deluxe one and the other one, the standard one, which hasn't released yet. So I've got the Deluxe one, and I have to say, I am impressed so far. I'm going to just chuck the box away. This is the Sonic toy, which cost... I want to die. It cost $39.99 for this plastic toy. Now, however, I will say, it looks very nice. Like, they've made it look bloody shiny. I'll give them that. This electron fucking metal alloy thing that they put on it, it's pretty good. The photos, well, I think it looks incredible in person. I can't lie. When I look at it in person, I'm like, this is genuinely, like, very close to what the prop probably looks like. It feels light. It feels like a toy. But it's not too flimsy. You can't hear very much metal, like plastic creak there in the microphone. It's very it's very solid. The only thing that does sound flimsy is when the end comes out. You do that. Then you get a little bit of a cheap plastic rattle. But other than that, it's pretty sturdy. If it had a little bit more weight to it, you could almost pass it for a prop replica, to be honest, because it's pretty bloody good. So if you're a collector and you're a fan and all that sort of thing, you like that, then obviously go right ahead. We can talk about the box. Let's talk about the box. Should we talk about the box? Let's talk about the box. If I can fucking reach it, Jesus Christ. So what is in the box? You get the standard thing. Jesus Christ. You get the standard thing as is. It's a fucking annoying box. I have to say, it is an annoying box. The reason it's an annoying box is because they just kind of fall apart as soon as you open the actual product and get it out, which is fine, but this is me being real fucking nerdcore now, but I was sort of like, I kind of like to keep the box in a good condition that in the future if I do want to sell it, let's say, I can. as it stands, it's a very good box. It comes with literally this plastic cover which goes over the Sonic. But beyond that, oh shit, I've opened F12. Let's not do that. The rest of it is pretty straightforward. They've got this lovely white packaging, which I really like. They had that for the 14th Doctor Sonic and the figure sets that they released, the one figure set that they've released for the this era. A bit of a showcase on the back with a sort of description. They kind of just brag about how many features it's got, and you know what? Fair play to them. They put a lot of features into this, and it's way more impressive in real life, than I thought it would be. Like, looking at the photos, looking at the descriptions, looking at all that stuff. It genuinely is very, very impressive, and I'm pretty impressed. I can't lie. Like, the actual amount of features, fair play character options, feel free to brag about it. Be big-headed, because it's a fucking good product. And yeah, okay, it's $39.99. And if the standard version is exactly the same, but just not as shiny, I'll be a bit like, oh, well, yeah. But what I will say is that if it's $25.99 and it's got all the same features as this, bar the fucking metal coating that it's got, I'll be impressed. That's a very, very good price for a toy of that sort of magnitude. In comparison to like what we used to have. I mean, Tennant Sonic was about that, and I'll get the David Tennant Sonic, the electro-plated 14th Doctor Sonic. That shit is the definition of... You see what I mean about the plastic rattle? It can look as shiny as it wants. It's plastic. It's just plastic shit, right? But this is nice. It feels like a product. It feels like I'm actually getting the money's worth a little bit. I know it's a lot of money, but if you want something that looks like a prop replica, this is it. I mean, you've got a bit of everything in here, but feel free to ask your questions. If you want to ask any questions about the product, I'm happy to show you. So does it weigh a bit compared to the other Sonics? Yeah, it does a little bit. It's lighter. It's as light as the other Sonics are in equivalent, right? It's sort of a... It's still flimsy, right? It's still relatively light. It's a toy. It's plastic. Realistically, it's plastic with a few electronics inside. And if I were to make any changes with these toys, not that I would because they're toys and they're supposed to be fucking toys, is I'd put genuinely just like a little bit of weight in there. It would be really cool if this was just like a kilogram, right? If it was just a kilogram, then you just get the weight and feel of like a real Sonic, right? That would be the whole idea, because the prop would be heavy because it's been made out of actual metal. So that's how you'd sort of emulate that. But yeah, let's have a look at the features then, because it boasts a hell of a lot of features. The first main one is the sort of movement. So the movement is a sort of swiveling function, which sort of puts it in open and closed mode. So this is closed mode, where it looks like a desktop mouse. I mean, it really does look like a desktop mouse. We should definitely do that with the Doctor Who merch team. It goes either side and sort of stops. You can go all the way around, and it will stop there. Like, it doesn't go any further. You can't do a full 360 with it, which I think is pretty good. When it's in closed mode, all the same features work. All of these buttons and stuff, all the other stuff that we do, and I'm going to show you, still work in closed mode. In open mode, though, you get this little bit at the bottom, which I think makes it feel more like a Sonic. The closed mode is a little bit too... I don't know, it doesn't feel right. Something about it feels off, right? This is the open mode, which I'll show you. It's a weird one to hold. You can't really show, because usually you sort of show it off like that and point and do that. But all the stuff is on the top, and that's kind of hard to showcase without sort of ruining and what have you. But yeah, it's got a few buttons on it. It's got a few lights on it. You can see there's one light already activated. That's the crystal. That kind of stays on unless you close it. So when I have it on display, I have to have it in closed mode, because I've not yet found a way to turn the crystal off, and I feel like that's just going to waste down the battery. Now, it might have like a refresh period, and it might go offline or something at some point. Hopefully it does. And if it does, then great. As it stands, I just tend to keep it closed when I'm displaying it. The buttons that work, there are 1 and 2 buttons on it, which is actually less than some Sonics we've had, but they do different things. So this one pops up the end bit here, which is great. It's a little extra bit. Again, like on the prop, it has this little extra bit. You press it. This button here lights up fucking everything. There's a light inside there, which I don't think you can see that, but it lights up this front bit. There's 2 lights on the front. There's 2 lights down here. And there are basically 2 lights here, but this one is sort of extended over 3 sort of gaps. So it's very impressive. Very, very impressive. You can have that extended or not extended, and it works the same way. And you can open this, which is one of my favourite features of it, because I think this sort of adds to the... okay, about a minute and it goes off by itself. That's good then. I'll have that open on display over there then. The thing that I like about this the most as a toy, and as a Sonic design generally, is that it's perfect for like roleplay. And I think that as a kid, as someone who used to love... I used to go to the caravan quite a lot as a kid, and I'd take like a sonic screwdriver and I'd pretend to be playing Doctor Who, and I'd be running around with a sonic screwdriver and using it, and you use all the different buttons, right? Smith's Sonic had like a red button on the bottom, and even though that was never in the actual prop of the Sonic, it was like, it was a cool feature that you'd use for something in your roleplay. Oh, like a bomb's going off or something like that. So what I really like is that, we'll get into the other sort of sound features, but this thing actually comes out like it does in the show. And it turns into like a scanning mode. And that actually works. The viewfinder actually works as like, and I can't really show this because there's no way to make that work on camera. The viewfinder actually works as like a little magnifying glass. It genuinely does. If I look through it, it sort of makes things smaller. So if I want to look at something really close, I can, at a certain distance, sort of make things closer. And it works. It works really well. The secret sort of sound options and light options, so you can do the whole thing with any Sonic. You press it down and then hold it a couple times or whatever. So 1 click and 1 hold. Does this sort of like, this sort of very quiet scanning option. It's quite quiet. And then 1, 2, 3. That's the sort of scanning sound. That was... that's taken from, I think we first introduced with the 13th Doctor Jodie Whittaker Sonic. But the difference here is when you finish doing that, the crystal flashes. Which is a lovely feature. I don't know why, but it's just like a little bit extra that they've coded into it, and it's really, really nice. I don't think there's a 4th one. No. So that's, yeah, that's the only thing. So those are your Sonic sounds. There's 3 sounds. One is the sort of main one. And it has that lovely sound effect that when you press the button down, it sort of has like a clink sound before you start. And then at the end as well. Cool. Yeah, I think it's a great fucking thing. You've got obviously all these features and different sound effects. So that's a sound effect in itself, which is quite a new one. I'm trying to think of anything else, to be honest, but I think that's pretty much everything just to do with the screwdriver. It's not the nicest Sonic design in the world. I don't think it is, but do I think it's a great toy? Do I think it's a great little bit of roleplay kit, like for a kid? I think it's perfect. And I think the $25.99 one that isn't sort of metal plated will be a really, really nice option for like a younger fan who wants to get into just sort of playing, or like a fan film or something. This is sort of perfect for. Like, it looks very, very good. Cosplay, it looks very, very good. And just the detail on it is incredible. Like, there's a lot of care and attention and love that's went into it. The Gallifreyan symbols around here, the sort of surface there, all the sort of see-through bits. And I think the most exciting thing about this is all of the legal character options nonsense that they usually sort of plaster on somewhere. They've been getting good at hiding it. They've been getting very, very good at hiding all the legal shit on the Sonic toys. But this time, they've cooked. Because where is it, right? And how do you change the batteries? It's actually underneath the viewfinder. You can lift this little panel here and pull that away to reveal. I can't really, it's going to make that noise continuously. And that's where all the legal shit is, and it's a little battery compartment. I'm honestly impressed with how well they've been able to hide that, because you really couldn't tell, and it took me a few cracks to sort of actually work out where the fuck that was. But yeah, I have to say, overall, I'm very, very impressed with the design of it. I'm very, very impressed with the vibe of it. It feels really nice. And I think they've done a smashing job with it, I have to say. I really, really have to say, I think they've done a real smashing job with it, and I'm really happy with it. Is it worth the money? I think if you're a fan and you want a proper Sonic in your collection, The best version released of this Sonic will probably be this version, the $39.99 version, because it's that whole electroplated look. If you want it to look close to the prop, then get this one. I have to say, out of all the sort of Sonic Screwdriver toys that Character Options have released, I would say this is probably one of the most prop accurate in terms of colour, in terms of design. Now, I know Tennant's 14th Doctor one had like an electroplated finish. That one's quite flimsy and quite wobbly and quite plasticky, and that's just the nature of the way the toy was made. However, the 15th Doctor one, because it's quite like a smooth design, it is actually really close to the prop and doesn't feel flimsy and plasticky anywhere near as much. I will say though, with the design, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world to hold or to use or to showcase. I feel like as a design, not the toy is incredible. It's a great replication of the actual prop, but the actual design of the Sonic is really made me reconsider having it in hand and looking at it. Yeah, it does look electroplated in the show, I'd say. I think if we kind of look at this, let's have a look. It's a good question, but like this is the promo image they use of it, for example. Like, why can we not see that? That's good, isn't it? I mean, that's the image they used. It's sort of like, yeah. I mean, it depends on what style. So like a fan made one. It's pretty good. That's sort of like on the TARDIS. It's sort of not as shiny, maybe, as this one with the electroplated thing, but it's certainly like I don't know, it's definitely shinier than you'd sort of think. I like it, though. I think it sort of fits that vibe, and I think this is a great sort of emulation of it. It's never going to be perfect. Huh? Okay. It's never going to be perfect, and I think that's always the thing to bear in mind, but as someone who has sort of collected and really looked at these Sonic Screwdriver toys for a long time, I have to say I'm impressed with it. The one thing I'm not as keen on is, as I say, the design of the Sonic. As much as I love all the different features and all the things that it does, it feels really good as a Sonic Screwdriver, but the one thing that I'm not really that keen on has to probably be, like, I don't know. I think it would have to be just the feel of it. A lot of people criticise Jodie's Sonic, but at least Jodie's Sonic was, like, built to be held. Like, it was built to sort of match the groove of, like, your hand when you held it. And all of the Sonics have been like sort of pens and sort of long and thin, and can be sort of pointed, almost like a magic wand kind of thing. This is the first Sonic to have a bit of a different vibe to it, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to that, of course. But I am impressed with it. I think it looks really good, but it has to be said, I am a bit like, yeah, it's not the most comfortable to hold though, is it? You know, I have a feeling that after 15 they'll probably go to a little bit more of a classic style Sonic. I would have thought, but I'm not sure. I think the blue is the classic. I think the blue goes best with Shooty, I think. You've got your reds and your oranges and greens and light blues, but I think the dark one is the original. It's like the design they released initially, so I'm a big fan of that. I can't remember which colours were in which episodes. I remember when I think of the Sonic, I think of this, so I think that tells you everything you need to know, really. So, questions. Wish we could use the features next season. Yeah, I think he used them a little bit in like Rogue when he was like scanning the room with the thing. I think that was kind of cool. Would you ever like to see a classic style Sonic return, such as this 3rd to 8th Doctor design? I would actually. I don't think it needs a light, but I think it makes it a little bit. I think it modernises it, and I do like the light on the Sonic. I would like something different. I'm glad we've got this. I think this is a real step in the right direction in terms of having something really different. But am I loving it? I'm not really sure. I got the retail one instead. You're making me wish I got this one now. Do you know if the retail one has all the added SFX? I believe it does. I think the only difference between the retail one and this one is the sort of electroplated look, where it's sort of basically just got a sort of slightly shinier approach. But I wouldn't, as much as I say this is worth $39.99, I don't think it's worth a £15 difference. So I would actually argue that the one that you've got, the standard retail version, I think is probably the best value for money, because that was very similar to the same price as the 14th Doctor one, and that is way flimsier. So actually, honestly, for this Sonic, with all those features, with all those sort of the feel and vibe of it, just for it to be slightly not that shiny, I think is a pretty good deal, to be honest. And I think you're getting your money's worth, really. That is not a thing. Evil mode. It probably would be. I wouldn't be surprised if character options hit that. Do you think character options will ever do the Dark Eyes Sonic? I'd love them to. I don't think there's a demand for it. Character options are really odd. I have my grievances with character options. I mean, everyone knows I have my grievances with character options because I literally never shut the fuck up. But I've collected their toys since I was like, well, not collected, but I've always bought their toys since I was a kid. I got them for Christmas. Like my first year of watching Doctor Who, it was one of my earliest memories of watching the show was playing with the character options toys, right? I just wish they'd release more, you know? Let's have a look at the figure guide. Because there's a really cool Doctor Who figure guide that someone made. DoctorWhoToys.net. No, it's not this one. This is the one. It's a really cool website, by the way. I can't remember who made it, but it's fucking brilliant, and you can check it out. It's dwactionfigure.weebly.com, and it's basically it's a sort of not fully updated, but getting there, kind of updating process of Doctor Who figures, basically, which I think is really cool. What do you mean the dark version's actually a thing? Thing is, I'm so determined to not look like a fucking mug that I'm like not even willing to try it. But I feel like now I should, and then I'm gonna look like a mug. Press it 20 times, you say? Fuck's sake. Okay, right. Let's get this right then. Let's do this and let me look like a mug. Well done. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I mean, it didn't work. I mean, as in, like, it didn't actually do anything. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Turns the fucking crystal off. Does that much. $15 times. You have to take out the thing. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm really disappointed. I was kind of hoping this would be a thing, but it's not, is it? Well, fuck you guys. I knew I was being gullible. Fuck's sake. You have to bring out the eyepiece. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, last fucking time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It doesn't fucking do anything! Fucking dickheads. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm not being tracked like a mug anymore. Let's not do this. I've not seen anyone do that. Fucking hell. Right, let's talk about Doctor Who figures. So, I grew up with these. I mean, oh God, I didn't have any of these ones. Everyone had an Eccleston figure. I didn't get the B&M one. Didn't get that one. I think I had that. Oh no, not even that. I think I had that one, probably then. I have this Rose figure somewhere, probably. One of them two. No, that one. Yeah, the 2005-2006 one. I fucking, honest to God, you guys are the worst. Some of you are saying 20 times. Some of you are taking... Which bit is the... Right, the top bit or the side bit? You say top or side and I'll do it. Top or side, and how many times? Is it 15 or is it 20? Because I'm getting different fucking things here. Autons. Yeah, I've definitely got the Autons somewhere. There's a few that I didn't get. The TARDIS player set. It's beautiful. But basically, that's one series and look how much we got. And again, obviously, everyone knows how much merch we got in this era. I trust it, but you need to tell me, is it the top bit or the side bit? Side bit. So like that. Right. And then 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You fucking knobs. It doesn't work. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right, I've killed it. Just killed it stone fucking dead. Oh! Oh, it does work! Alright, fair. And the light glows green. Oh my god! Alright, okay, okay, okay. You have no idea, like, how gullible I've been in the past, believing any old random shit online that I genuinely like believed that you fuckers were trying to get me. That's amazing, though. What a great way to find a secret. That's amazing. Oh, I do like when character does this, but it's also very silly that that they sort of put things in that aren't in the show. Because I remember with the 14th Doctor Solid Screwdriver, it would go like yellow, blue, red, and green, and it would play different sounds. And then there's people making loads of theories about it, but it actually doesn't mean anything. So this doesn't mean anything, does it really? But what a great little feature! How the fuck do I turn it back? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Back to normal. Oh, fucking hell! Love that. I wish there was more secrets in there. That would be fucking sick. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Bloody hell. Yes, I've seen the boys. Bloody hell, guys. You guys are fucking mental. Ugh, look how many fucking tenants there are, man. I definitely had a couple of these. Yeah, but, like, look how much merch we're getting, right? And I'm like... we know Tenants Era got loads. Even Smith actually got a lot. And I think I had a few 11th Doctors, definitely. I had the interior playset at one point. Probably remember me, I actually unboxed it on stream. Because I bought it like a few years after. Probably like 2017, 2018, so that's fun. I don't trust that. I don't trust that it goes green. Fucking Jesus Christ. It's cool that you get this sort of first Doctor Herndl. It's not Herndl, is it? It's David Bradley. Yeah, the series, it's Series 7, wasn't it? That was where it sort of dropped off. Because Series 6 had a good range. Like standard. But obviously didn't sell very well, did it? Ironside, Paradigm Daleks. Pretty cool. But you didn't get any... Yeah, you're right. There was nothing really for Series 7, was there? Clara and the Curator. Admittedly, by the time you got the Curator, you got a pretty cool bloody set. Because that's fucking sick. The River Song figure wasn't that good either, to be fair. Rory, again, pretty standard. Not many Rory figures, are there? I had the policewoman Amy, and I had this Amy. Never had that one. I'm trying to think. Non-electronic Christmas Adventure set. I got the Christmas Adventure set. I remember that one. The non-electronic TARDIS box. I remember that. Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, they released a bunch of stuff in Series 5 and 6, but not again. It's kind of rough. No Series 7 stuff, but then Series... Oh, then Capaldi got done a dirty hand, man. We got the 12th Doctor TARDIS, which I don't think I ever got my hands on. I don't think I ever got this TARDIS. Davros, just a standard re-release. Missy getting these many figures was nice, admittedly. It was nice that she got 2 variants when on launch in 2015. You got like a... Is it B&M? Or was this a different one? It's cool that they released that then, to go along with Series 9. I think I remember that, but it was ever so slightly different. That it was just like, well, what's the fucking point? I got this figure, definitely, somewhere. It's a great figure. It's good to have a Missy in there. This one is really cool as well. Series 10 aesthetic, even though the hair's inaccurate and there's a bunch of inaccuracies. They really did try to make it a Series 10 one, and I appreciate that. 3 different Bill Potts figures is great, even though these are just the same fucking figure, essentially. Can't remember which one I got. I think I got that one. No. Maybe. I got that one or that one. I think I actually got that one because it was part of the same set. Clara, again, really lazy figure. Clara got done dirty with the character options figures. I mean, she fucking barely got any of them. Capaldi, I heard a rumour that Capaldi never liked the figures, so didn't allow many of them to be released. Like, we got this one, which barely looked like Capaldi, really. Let's be fair. It didn't really look like him much, but it did a little bit. It looked more like him than this fucking thing did. Yeah, I hated these figures. When these came out, I don't think I even bought it. I was like, this is shit. Doesn't even look like him. It doesn't even look like Capaldi, man. But they did all the different shirt alternatives, which I appreciate. This was the best fucking figure when it came out. Not this one. The Before the Flood and Girl Who Died variants. They released these back to back. Oh, these were incredible. I loved them. I loved them so much. This was the one I had, I think. I just think it's so cool. They got the costume spot on. They got Capaldi's face a little bit more spot on. And then they released this variant as well, which is great. Wish they'd done a waistcoat as well, but a really, really great variant to have with basically this costume, but with the face of this Capaldi, which is really good. Yeah, really great. I want them to do more B&M sets for these eras, you know, because I feel like they could get a little bit more love. And 13th Doctor, I think, got really good as well. We got some really good 13th Doctor figures. We didn't get many, but we got 1, 2, 3 variants here. The B&M Fugitive variant, I think, was great. And then the Regeneration set one is brilliant. I've got the Regeneration set somewhere, and it's fucking excellent. It's a really, really great set. The Fugitive Doctor is a fucking great figure as well. Top marks to them actually doing that, because it's a great figure, and I'm really, really glad they released it. That's from this year, isn't it? 2024. Yeah. That was a nightmare to get, but it was great. Yaz getting 3 different variants was nice. It was great to see her have a different hairstyle, because I really didn't expect them to do that. They did a couple B&M set releases, which is fair enough. They did like 2 waves of the same companions, which is interesting. Graham, that's the one I got. And that's a sort of cheaper equivalent, but I prefer the jacket on that one. Ryan was done dirty, because what costume is this? These two are great for Yaz, because they look exactly like her with the costume. That's the perfect costume. These are great costumes for Graham. Ryan, I don't remember wearing these as much, but fair play. TV Projection Angel is just a bit of a cheeky one, that we got 2 different variants of that, and it's just a Weeping Angel in like see-through blue thing. No Dan figure, which is really sad, I think, because we really deserve to get a Dan figure. But there we go. The Jadoon Captain, pretty easy figure for them to make. Jadoon Trooper, you know, fair enough. The Jadoon in this era, released them. And the Reconnaissance Dalek, again, another one that I'm surprised we got, but I'm really glad we got it, you know. I remember when this came out, I was really excited, and I got this. Don't know where that figure is, but it's somewhere. And I love it. I think it's really great, because it's a completely different design to other Daleks. It would have been ball ache for them to do, and it was, because they clearly didn't release any others. But then, fucking Jesus Christ. We did get a 14th Doctor figure that looked like Ant McPartlin, which is pretty good. But beyond that, we've not really had anything. We're supposed to be getting a 15th Doctor figure, and we've had nothing yet. So we're just kind of waiting on that. We've seen it at a convention, and we talked about this, but we never got a Dan figure. We never got a Nardole figure either, though, which is sad. But I just really wish we'd get them. You know what I mean? Got some great ones here. Primeval, fuck off with Primeval. That's not a Doctor Who spin-off. Torchwood had some great figures as well, but different company, not character options in a lot of cases. Surgeon Adventures was pretty cool as well. I mean, you got great classic series coverage, obviously, like really, really cool. Yeah, I love my Doctor Who figure sets. It has to be said. I do love them, and I don't buy them as much now. But the one thing I do look forward to is when they release like the Doctors, right? That's the Doctors and the Masters. We need a Sacha Dhawan figure release. It really shouldn't be that hard to do. Honestly, it shouldn't be. Even the War Doctor's got fucking variants, like 1, 2, 3, 4 variants. That was a weird variant, wasn't it? Yeah, because it was like the. No, that was a good one. No, there was that. That's the one I've got, I think. But it was a weird one, because he's quite chunky, because he's supposed to replace his head. But yeah, it's great. And you got variations of this same fucking Dalek. Yeah. I like how they've put effort into stuff. It's just like, if they're going to do more B&M stuff, I'd love them to focus on Series 7 to Series 10, and then a little bit maybe Flux and like this season. It's like, come on, like, let's think of some figures we could do really easily. You could definitely do Lindy Pepperbean, not that you'd want to, but I'm trying to think who else you could do with the existing parts that we've got. I mean, you must have so many existing parts there. You could very easily do Sasha Dewan's Master with the bow tie-less 11th Doctor, right? Easily. Swarm and Azor would be hard because they're big fucking alien characters, so I get why they haven't done them. But you could very easily re-release a Dalek with a bit of a Golda look from Flux. The Cybermen would be good to get a fucking Cybermen variant. We haven't had a new Cybermen variant since the fucking Cybus ones, so that's rough. I'd love to see that. But we haven't had that yet, so that's fun. Toy Maker will be sick again, but I just don't know if we're ever going to see that, really. It'd be good to see Donna, you know? It'd be good to see a fucking Donna figure. I feel like that could definitely be done. Donna only got one release, and I know that's probably because Catherine Tate was not happy with it. I feel like if she was happy to have more figures released, she would have allowed more figures to be released. But she didn't, so we didn't get it. Because we got like one, and it was in a winter coat. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's a bit naff. But it'd be nice if they could just sort of shape it down and redo it. But they probably need permission every time they release these figures. So I get that. It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a really difficult one. I do love the Doctor Who figures, and it's great to see. I think it was really nice to see the 13th Doctor get a real complete range. Okay, we're probably not going to get much more from her era, but it's great that we got both of the Doctors that were in that era. A good, like, 3 versions of Yaz, 2 versions of Graham and Ryan. You basically get, other than Dan, a variant for each companion in each series that they're in. And that's nice, other than Dan, obviously. Toy Maker would be unreal. I'm trying to think what else you could do. I mean, the real thing they need to crack on with is a fucking coatless version of 14. That has got to be easy. From Wild Blue Yonder, you could very easily do that and do like a Wild Blue Yonder set. And just have him and Donna. Or like an anniversary set and do him and a Wrath Warrior or the Meep, which they probably won't do. I know they've done a Wrath Warrior. Well, yeah, that's the thing, is they had the 3.75 inch figure range. So Capaldi did get some coverage in that, but it wasn't enough. I mean, we had like, yeah, there's some really shit ones with that, didn't we? I never bought into the 3.75 inch figure range. Yeah. It's sad, I think, because there were some great figures released in that range. But they just fucked it up. They tried to do this whole thing and it just did not work. And it was great. They really cooked with it. You know, they got the Day of the Doctor set. Amazing. You know, great. Into the Dalek set, they had like a Dalek versions and stuff. They had the God, they fucking even had that. They had fucking Danny Pink in his fucking Cyberman outfit. Yeah, look at this. Danny Pink as Cyberman, great. 12th Doctor in spacesuit with space gems, sick. Clara Oswald from Time of the Doctor and Deep Breath, Rusty the Dalek, Supreme Dalek from Planet of the Daleks, pretty cool figure. And like a different variant of 12. And it's like really cool that we got these figures, but it's sort of like, oh man, should have just wished that we got these in like 5-inch scale. We would never have even wanted them again. But I just don't know why when we release stuff now that... Let's have a look at the Doctor Who merchandise guide, actually. Let's see what has actually been announced recently, this year. We got our first one in May, which came out here. This did not sell at all. This did not do very well, but it is what it is. It did a good job. They're very good, but it's like 3 of the same figure, right? So it's army building, but who wants to fucking army build nowadays, right? This was definitely the best set they've released. Like, this year is fucking insane. It's so good. This is also up there as a pretty good thing. Got a couple of Mavellians there and a Dalek from Destiny of the Daleks, is it? Destiny of the Daleks? Am I right in saying that? Yeah. History of the Daleks. I'm not a big fan of the History of the Dalek ranges because I feel like we've covered it now. This is a cool one, obviously. It's a re-release. This is another re-release. Cool. For those who didn't get it, and I'm not really bothered about getting it, so... But I'm just sort of like, come on, give us more. Give us some fucking more. We got to New Who with the Dalek ones. I thought we were going to get some... Like, just some real fresh new ones. But it is what it is, isn't it? But I don't know what's on the cards for coming now. We've not got a TARDIS B&M set in a while. We've actually not... You know, we've not had this yet at all. Any B&M sets other than these two, which haven't actually released yet. I just find that interesting, is like, we actually haven't had many in a while for B&M. These are supposed to come out in September. I've heard no one get them. It's interesting. That was cool last year. And that was cool. The Regeneration set was sick. But what I really, really want more than anything is new figures. We haven't had new figures in a while, man. It's rough. It's rough. They did the 6th Doctor from some play. Great. Maestro and Rogue would be sick. I feel like Jinx Monsoon would love a fucking figure. I think she'd be down for that, you know. No, there was a separate link for 13, wasn't there, that I'd saved, but I forgot about. This one. There we go, that's nicer. We're going to play 13. I don't think character options is dying. I think it's just... It's one of those things where it's like, they're just a little bit shit at certain elements, right? I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but as far as I'm aware, there doesn't seem to be any incentive from the actual production team or Disney or anything like that for merchandising, which is crazy because you'd think that people would want it. And the fact of the matter, the worst thing about it is there's such a massive demand for it within the fandom. But the interesting thing, I would say, to look out for is that Doctor Who has partnered with Forbidden Planet again for the first time in quite a few years. That is good news for figure collectors because it means that the character options are going to start to be collaborating with that again and distribute their figures more widely than just B&M. I think, personally, with the whole B&M thing, I think that was sort of the last sort of cry for help when that was a thing. And they've actually come out the other side of that really nicely. I think they've done a good job with it, and they've managed to come out and go, oh shit, there's actually a demand for the Doctor Who figures now, through B&M, cheap equivalent Doctor Who figures that aren't proper ranges but are, you know, they're affordable, and you build out your collection, and that's what B&M was good for. But now people are sort of venturing more towards these online exclusives because there's only so many times you can release it. When the B&M range is properly kicked off, I remember it well. It was when what happened? It was the 3rd Doctor's TARDIS, right? It was the first time they'd ever re-released a classic TARDIS box. It was huge. It was huge news because it was like a first thing, and they kept releasing them. They kept going. They brought the box from Sheard. They brought one pretty much for each Doctor, other than Colin Baker, because it would have been too much to basically sculpt for them effectively. But it's like, how sick, how fucking cool is that they managed to do all that, and then now they're working with Forbidden Planet again, which is interesting because I didn't see that happening, but we're here and they're doing it. So even as just a distribution partner, I think it's very interesting from a merchandising perspective that they are now partnering with other companies again for the standard releases of things, online exclusives for Character Online. But you can't say that. I don't think they're dying, simply down to the fact that, well, their website crashes every time you try and buy stuff. It's not like a great sign of, like, you know, it's not a compliment for the website. I've had my issues with the websites, but it's very much a case of going, well, they can't be doing that bloody bad because they're fucking crashing the website every time people try and buy toys. That's quite impressive, actually. In a sort of weird way, that's actually very impressive because they're fucking flogging them. When the Fugitive Doctor thing came out, it was unreal. Would you like to see an update to the game 15? Oh, I don't really see the point in updating it to 15 because no one can get past fucking Matt Smith anyway. I love the B&M sets because they make the figures easily available, bring them back, even if it's re-releases from the past. Yeah, they're great ideas, aren't they? And it's like, again, bringing back, like, doing old sets and stuff. There's a sort of demand for doing it on a sort of smaller scale. And they start to get really good with them because they start to, like, add new sculpts and stuff. But then they started doing online exclusives. That's when it became interesting, as they started doing them online. They didn't do that at first. And I don't know whether that's been a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it's worked well for the business, but maybe not as well from a fan perspective. But actually, I think the character options is doing relatively well. But what they need is just more demand for like quick turnaround. But it's on the BBC to sort of do that. You need whoever's in charge of that at the BBC to turn around and go, well, we want merchandise out of this show fucking now. We think there are merchandising opportunities. We need to jump on that, and we need to have them fucking made. We haven't got time to piss about. We've got a demand here for the characters, right? I think the demand for the Sonic has gone down, personally, than when the actual series came out. And I remember all the people at the time being like, I was one of those people who was complaining, and it was like around the 60th anniversary, and I was like, this is shit. Like, we should be getting figures of Shooty. The 14th Doctor figure came out on his very first appearance post-regen, literally like a few months later. And then what happened? And then his Sonic came out a couple months before his first episode did. So actually the first time a lot of people got to see the Sonic was in their own hand and playing with it, which is amazing. Shooty had his Sonic revealed, had his entire first season, and then like 4 months, 5 months, and then it gets released. Then it gets announced, never mind released. We know there's a 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday figure coming. The only reason we know that, though, is because it was at a toy fair. But we've not had any official confirmation or acknowledgement of that. But we know there's something coming soon. In fact, let me open my emails, because I'm pretty sure I had an email about this. I'm wondering if I can just sort of leak anything. Probably not, because the PR is up and down. Try to see if I can find where it is. Alright, see you in a bit. Christmas Adventure set. That's a great set. The meat plush exists, but it's not been brought out. Yeah, we got no news. It's basically like, oh, we've got some more stuff later this month about the Doctor Sonic, the 15th Doctor and his Sonic Screwdriver, which kind of implies that we were supposed to be getting a toy. But people were saying that we were going to get the figures released in September. They haven't come out. The most logical thing they could do now is wait for Christmas at this point in time. Do it at Christmas. Fucking hell. Don't piss about. Don't do the wrong time now. Just in time for Christmas. Brand new toys. Great. I'll ask for them for Christmas. Fantastic. But you cannot just keep on waiting. It's like people don't just want a Ruby Sunday figure and a fucking Doctor figure. They want more than that. They want the villains. They want the monsters and shit. It's whether the demand's there, though, because are people going to really buy a Snot Monster toy? Probably not. But I'd say people would probably buy a Maestro toy. I'd definitely get a Toy Maker. The Meep would be a really good one. Like, things like that work really well, but people aren't really going to buy the Slug from Dot and Bubble, right? So don't make that one. As much as it would be amazing, you wouldn't choose that from a business perspective, because it's probably not going to sell that well to a general audience, right? I just wish more time and attention would be given to these things as brands, because I feel like there is so much potential in there that's being sort of slightly lost. Just with them taking time. But I'm not a business expert, I have no fucking idea. Do you think they'll be individual or a set? I think they'll be individual. If they were fucking clever, they'd release them individually, and they'll probably be about £20 each, at least. Ruby Sunday and Doctor figures. And I would personally probably only be bothered about the Doctor figure as opposed to the Ruby Sunday one, but I'd probably end up getting both anyway because I'm a fucking idiot. Also, when do you think the Daleks will be back? How much do I have to pay for you to watch my what if short of me animating it, Absorb Off Grin? I don't know what you mean by that. But I don't want to take payments to watch stuff, especially on stream, because I tend to, if I'm going to react, well, not react, but if I'm going to watch something, I need to vet it to make sure it's going to be appropriate before putting it on live stream on my channel, because I don't want to get fucking demonetized or worse, sort of, I don't know, knocked off the platform altogether. That wouldn't be good. So I tend to be quite careful with doing stuff like that. But if you've got something you want to share, feel free, but I'm not going to take money for it. That's very silly. They probably will be online exclusives. Cursed photo of the Meat Plush fleshlight ages ago. I don't want to hear any more about a Meat Plush fleshlight. Thank you very much. I actually hope the Daleks have a bit of a break. And I'm kind of enjoying the Daleks being on a bit of a break at the minute, really, because it's nice. I think it's good. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying the peace and quiet. And then when the Daleks do come back, you just know that they'll do it well. You hope that they'll do it well. But in such a way where it's like, okay, you really feel their presence now they've been gone for a little while. The Daleks have been overused so fucking much. They were really overused towards the end of Moffat's era for unnecessary reasons. But then you also had Whittaker's era overused them as well. I didn't think I'd ever say the Whittaker era was overusing the Daleks. But they did. They fucking did. Towards the end, it got a little bit ridiculous. I mean, the Daleks... Yeah, obviously Resolution was their first appearance. New Year's Day 2020. And then Revolution of the Daleks, New Year's Day 2021. Is that right? No, 2019 New Year's Day, idiot. New Year's Day 2019 was their first appearance. That's one episode. Revolution of the Daleks, brilliant. Then they appeared in flux throughout, in the finale and in the main bulk of it. And then they appeared in Eve of the Daleks, and then they appeared in Power of the Doctor. They've had a lot of appearances, the Daleks, recently, and I'm ready for them to be done. And even though we got the sort of Children Need sketch, I've really enjoyed that. Rusty Davis' second era has not included, thus far, any commonly used returning villains, like Cybermen, Weeping Angels, Sontarans, or Daleks. I'm happy we don't have that yet. The Sontarans were off screen for a long, long time, and then they came back in vlogs, and it was really good because we hadn't seen them in so long that we were like, oh shit, like some refreshing new like Sontaran story. That's like interesting because we've got something new. We haven't just had this like last year. Whereas Dalek stories, it's like how many fucking times. The Dalek subplot in the Power of the Doctor, the sort of good Dalek thing, that was a really good potential. That was kind of wasted. That's better than half of the fucking Whittaker era Dalek stories we got, I think. I love the sort of Venom symbiote kind of vibe they went for. That was different. That was cool. I loved that. But then they sort of lost that a little bit and it ended up just being generic Daleks again. Wish we got a Flux Sontaran figure. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I really wish it was a proper New Year's Day trilogy of 13th Doctor Dalek specials, because I feel like that would have been the best fucking way to do it, honestly. Like, how much fun would that have been to do, like, an actual 3-arc story? I was really gunning for them. I think that's kind of when I lost hope in the Whittaker era, honestly, was that New Year's Day. I was like, nah, it's done. I was like, it's just done. Like, I can't even fucking... Because for me, I was so expecting them to do something with it, you know. Oh, I think it was the trailer. When the trailer came out, I was like, oh, yeah, this is done. Because it's just like... It's just fucking annoying when you invest into it. It's like, oh, what happened to Jack Robertson? Oh, no one gives a fuck. Great. So why did we spend so long in setting him up as a character? It just felt like now looking back, it now feels like Revolution of the Daleks is just like a one-off use of actual set-up character and story. Captain Jack comes back for what fucking no reason, never comes back again for understandable reasons. But you know, you've got Jack Robertson who gets set up in the UK, and he's a big part of the Dalek special, and that's great. That's really cool. Never gets his comeuppance once. He should have been in Power of the Doctor, or he should have been in Phlox or something. That would have been fucking interesting. Would have brought it a little bit more together. Certain missed opportunities there. I would love to have known if there was an original plan there, which just disappeared because of COVID, with the Dalek trilogy, let's say. It's sad. It is sad. Because Chibnall's a sound guy and a very competent writer, and I think he has been dealt a dirty hand in a lot of senses, and I think a lot of fans don't give him the credit that he deserves sometimes. Some of his stuff has been shocking, don't get me wrong, but some of it was pretty fucking good as well, and the good stuff never gets recognised as much, and it makes me sad. Yeah, they should have just killed off Robertson. I forgot that the actor did stuff as well. Yeah, that episode's aged horribly then, isn't it? A Phlox novelisation would be insanely good. That should be Chris Chibnall's sort of like epilogue to Doctor Who, is writing a Phlox. A Phlox sort of like epilogue, almost like a proper actual book about the events of that part in the Doctor Who universe, you know. That would be so cool. Tennant, baby! There we go, look at that. Would you rather see back Martha or Gwen? Martha. I love Gwen, but Martha, I think, would be a more interesting dynamic because she's actually travelled with the Doctor. Do you know what I'm excited for, guys? I'm excited for the War Between Land and Sea. I am. I genuinely am. It feels something really original, something really fresh. I didn't expect them to do a spin-off. And just looking at the way they've set the show up, I wouldn't be expecting them to do a spin-off either. So I'm sort of like very interested as to what this is going to be. And I've been thinking about it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, like the rumours about it, you know, the Master being in it and all that sort of thing and being played by a different actor. Obviously, I hope it's not that. But the idea of it being Master-led with Unit is super fucking interesting, and I kind of rate that idea. If that's where they go, obviously. Could be complete bullshit because it is online. As I sort of mentioned last week, most of these things do tend to be bullshit, but yeah. I'm waffling now. Yeah, they're not bringing back Torchwood, but it is cool that they're bringing back this guy from Children on Earth, because that interconnectivity is what I just love about Doctor Who. It's what I love about a lot of brands, right? Star Wars is exactly the fucking same for me, right? That's the same sort of thing for me. I love it for continuity because it's fucking satisfying, and I love that so much. I do. I really do. But, yeah, Doctor Who has the potential to do that as well. But when it's like, I don't care if it has anything to do with Children of Earth. It shouldn't do. This character is a fucking, you know, a military person who is in Children of Earth. He's a character in the Doctor Who universe. It makes complete sense for him to be there. I'm more than happy for it. It's not a big cameo moment. It's not the fucking Master or some Time Lord or something. It's just cool because it's just some guy. And when you go back and watch Children of Earth, set however many years ago, it will be that much more satisfying to encounter it, right? That's why it's a great fucking idea. Like, I love that. Again, the connectivity of it is just wonderful. We're kind of cooking here, not gonna lie. Right, let's just be very careful and do this properly, yeah? He says fucking it up immediately. The War Between Land and Sea sees the 5, 6, 7 come for the Sea Devil children. Yeah, that'll be funny. Is there someone you'd want as the Doctor? I'd love Katie McGrath to be that role. I haven't actually, you know what, for the first time probably in my life ever, I really just haven't got any, like, fan castings for the Doctor. Like, I'm pretty content with Ncuti, and I'm pretty content with, like, that, and I don't have anyone who I've seen who I'd be like, they'd be a good Doctor. Because at this point in time, I am feeling something fresh and different. For me, I'd be interested with an older person again, to be honest. Someone who's a bit more distinguished. I quite like seeing Tennant play 14, because he was a bit older and a bit more grisly and a little bit, I don't know, there was weight and there were years behind the eyes, and I liked that. I appreciated that when watching. It felt like a different Doctor because of it, and I liked that. I love Capaldi, and like going back and sort of, I haven't rewatched a lot of Capaldi's era in a long time, but I think about it and I'm like, there's some really great concepts in there. Dealing with the Doctor getting, being older, because he is old. He's an old character, and I think that being represented by an actual older actor is brilliant. More way to do it. And people are fucking fickle. They're like, he's too old for the Doctor. It's like, yeah, well, whatever. He's fucking brilliant. He was fucking amazing. I love it. I don't have any people in mind, but I would always prefer, I think, in my mind, to go for someone who's older. Like a lot older. Not like, not fucking ridiculously old, right? But old. At least 50. That's when you're getting someone fucking gold. No! Oh, we're doing so well. Right, you guys can vote. We can either go over to Twitch and play Alien now, or we can do another one of these. What do you think? You can choose in chat now. I'll do a poll. Can I do a poll? There's a poll in chat. And whilst we're talking as well, whilst the poll's running in chat as well, let's do this. You'll see another link posted in chat that you can click on. Please do click on it. It'll take you over to our podcast. Yeah, we're talking about it now. Haha, very funny. You are aware probably by this point that we have a podcast that I do every single Thursday with a good mate of mine called Cooper. We've got a very exciting episode coming out this week with our first ever guest, which is fucking exciting. Very, very difficult to sort of put together and very weird and brand new. Thank you, my God, for this super chat from Doctor Who Mania. Which 13th Doctor story would you like as a novelisation? Phlox. Phlox would be brilliant. Or Power of the Doctor. Ones that feel like they had more breathing room, or Haunting of Villa Diodati into Timeless Children. That entire arc would be lovely. That would be my choice. But thank you again for the super chat. Much appreciated. Yeah, and last week we actually did a Doctor Who series ranking. So I was going to talk about that today, but we kind of ran out of time a little bit. So if you haven't already checked this out, please go and do that. We're almost at 1,000 views, so that'd be bloody lovely if you could get that up there. Yeah, we talk about our favourite and least favourite Doctor Who seasons. There's a lot of really weird, interesting things in there, because Cooper, my co-host, has seen all of Doctor Who, for like New Who, but hasn't seen some of it in a long time, and has very different opinions to what you might expect. And it's great because Cooper's someone who isn't that ingrained in the Doctor Who community, not in the Doctor Who YouTube community. So it's very nice to see that he has very different opinions to what the norms are. I'm very, baked by that at this point, where I just know what fan favourites are and what's not. But he doesn't. And that was really interesting to sort of compare our sort of rankings of worst to best Doctor Who series, New Who series. So yeah, please do go and check it out. That would be a lot of fun. And if you're not already subscribed, please go and do it. I do give it a shout every now and then. I know I talk about it every stream. That's only because it's probably the most consistent form of content, and I genuinely wouldn't be pushing it if I wasn't so proud of it. I would absolutely, yeah, so I'd absolutely love it if you go and check it out. We've got a new podcast every single Thursday. Oh, look, perfect timing. It's on screen as well. Every single Thursday on Spotify and YouTube and a bunch of other podcast networks. But the main ones are on there. So, yeah, go and check it out. Go and give us some love if you haven't already. Go and check out the recent episode. And if you want some Doctor Who starter packs for Nostalgia Bit, we actually have a whole playlist here with all the Doctor Who Nostalgia Bit episodes. And there are 6 of them now. Bloody hell. So go and check that out. Have a lot of fun. And yeah, you guys all voted for one more 13. So we'll do one more 13. And then we'll go over to Twitch, where we'll be playing our last Alien Isolation game for a little while. Lots of people wondering why. One, it's Halloween season, so I want to kind of do some different games throughout this period. Maybe a bit of Five Nights at Freddy's, maybe. We might return to that a little bit more horror. Maybe some independent horror as well. I'm not too sure exactly what I want to do yet with the streams this month, but it's going to be some scary stuff in there, I'm sure. Yeah, and also I'm moving my Xbox out of this room, which means it's harder to link HDMI to my computer to stream Xbox games like Alien Isolation. So that's a shame. But yeah. Would you do a top 10 Who episode/stories podcast episode? Yes, absolutely. No, I'd absolutely love to do that. We talked about it. We've got plenty of Doctor Who themed ideas. We've done quite a few Doctor Who episodes in a row. So after we've kind of done this little batch of Doctor Who episodes, we're kind of ready to move on to different topics. We're going to be talking about Joker very soon as well, probably. The new Joker film, which comes out this week. It's very exciting. Yeah. But we'll definitely, I think on Twitch, we'll definitely do some Five Nights at Freddy's this month. We haven't done that in a little while. So it'd be nice to return to that a little bit. Tried to persuade one of my friends to watch Doctor Who, but he was put off because he thought it was too creepy and disturbing after watching Blink. What do you think is a good episode to show him? I don't know, really. It really depends on what your friends like and what kind of stuff they already watch. I think a good starting place would probably be like the beginning of Smith's era. Or maybe, again, it's hard. It's really hard from, I think you can't, as a Doctor Who fan, you can't really say what's a good jumping on point, because no one fucking knows, because we haven't jumped on there. So, you know, I always say Rose, because for me, that's where I started, and that's how I fell in love with it. So I would equate it to that, but it's very different, obviously, so I can't always recommend that. That's fine. But your recommendations don't have to match everyone. Thoughts on Thunderbolts? I don't actually know much about it, to be honest. It's one that's kind of passed me by. I've seen bits and bats here and there, and I thought it was going to look shit, and it actually looks alright, so I can't knock it. Is Cooper ever free on a Tuesday night for him to join on stream or for a game night? It's definitely possible. We definitely have talked about doing a live Nostalgia Bit at some point, but it would have to be for like a special occasion. We probably will do one, so don't fret. Which will be fun. I think it's always fun when I'm not just sat in a room talking to myself. But it's also just like a bit of a... it's a bit of a laugh when... Yeah, when I've got someone to talk to, because I'm bouncing off someone as opposed to just staring at different doctors moving around the screen like I am now. Thoughts on Last of Us Season 2? I haven't seen the trailer for it. I'm going to try and actually play the game before I rush to watch it, because I feel like I don't want to get spoilers, and I think I'd rather experience it in the game, because I didn't do that with the first season. When I watched the first season, I'd never seen the game. So it was very like a new thing for me, and I didn't want to... I enjoyed that, but I sort of thought, oh man, I feel like I'm missing out on those really sick moments where people do know what the game is and have, you know, are aware of already what's in it and what bits are what. Oh shit, I didn't realise I had Eccleston. God damn. God Damn. Do a live podcast for episode 50. Ooh, that's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. I don't know when episode 50 would lie. I think that's probably going to be in like January at this rate. But we've got episode 32 coming out this week, which is crazy. I mean, give us some credit where it's due. I'll shout about the podcast every single week, and that is because we release an episode every week. We've been releasing weekly episodes since early February. 32 full-length episodes, 3-hour script reading special, and 2 highlight reels. Basically 34, 35 weeks in a row without a break, and we're not stopping there. Not anytime soon. If we ever do stop for a break, it'll very much probably just be like a 1-week break, because we didn't want to lose the momentum, but yeah, fucking love it. It's addictive. I do love doing the podcast. Game over. Alright, we're done there now. Okay, so we're back. We'll be back here next week. Let's end this poll, by the way. As I've previously mentioned, if you're not already subscribed to Nostalgia Bait, please press the link in chat. Drop a subscription. It really, really helps. I know we're basically begging at this point, but I really, really do appreciate it. Please go and check it out. Really, 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 really love that. But in the meantime, if you want to carry on watching, with some more evening entertainment tonight, and you want to see me shit myself, not literally, hopefully, we'll be going live on GB Sheard on Twitch very, very soon. So keep an eye out for this. We'll be going live pretty much immediately. So just keep an eye on it. Pop over there, and we'll be going live very shortly, playing more Alien Isolation for the last time in a little while. So if you want to join in on our final Alien stream, possibly for a few months or possibly ever, who knows, please do come and join in tonight. You'll have a lot of fun. It is a good game, and we do have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, that'll be fun. And if you have any more Doctor Who related questions, you can bring them over to Twitch as well. So I would look forward to seeing you there. And yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's horrible. Thank you everyone for watching, and